Hey, Frobei, how you doing?
Good. I didn't know you guys were together actually.
Oh yeah, we only live 15 minutes apart.
Seriously? Wow, such a coincidence.
Yeah, we just wanted to really ask you a couple questions about Private Beta 2. In my opinion, you're the expert in the field right now for at least somebody who's doing YouTube and making content. So, what are your thoughts on Private Beta 2? How much more do augments matter to the game and bonding? What does that bring to the game?
It increases a lot of depth in the game. Like I would say, like augments, bonding, and every big feature like this just adds another layer into the game. So if we have to say like the Private Beta 1, the game already has some layers of difficulty of like just the difficulty of the game was already tough, big. So now with like augments, you have more choices to make, and then you have bonding, so you have even more choices to make, and then now you have interest of mastery point, so you have even more choices to make, right? And at one point, like if I can compare, I would say Private Beta 1 was kind of a straight road, even if it didn't feel that way when we were playing. But now we have played Private Beta 2, it feels like every time we have to choose between 3 to 4 different roads in order to reach the destination, which is basically trying to reach the end game, right? So for these reasons, I feel like it increases a lot of replayability, it increases a lot of depth, I said it already, and I think also what I really like to see, thanks to the augments and bonding and new weapons and so on, it feels like now we can reach more or less the same results, but with different options, with different teams, with different decisions, and that's where I find that the game, that's where I believe that the game needs to keep on doing this, because this is what will hook people.
Yeah, Frobei, that's really cool, and it's interesting to hear your perspective on that as someone who, obviously, you were a TFT pro, and you're one of the few that are also creating content in the Illuvium space, so we really value your opinion. My question is just from making the jump from PB1 to PB2, when you were first starting out, like your first time going through the waves, what do you look for? Because I would imagine it's probably different than what I look for as like more of like a beginner to the auto battler scene. So what are like the main things when you're first starting to play PB2? What do you look for?
So the first round is I'm always lacking time right now, because we have only 40 seconds, right, to make a move and try to win the first round. I already lost a few times just because I was just reading too much and I didn't put anything on the board and I just lost. So what I usually like to do is the first wave. I think all of them, you can beat them just with putting a weapon on a good weapon on your ranger and maybe an armor. And then during the time that's left and during the fight, I would try to look at the late game Illuvios, what are the most powerful Illuvios in the deck, but the one I can rely on, maybe from mid game to late game. I would also look at the augments. Of course, the augments, you asked earlier, the augments have right now a huge impact. You can transform an Illuvio, which is not really good, to an insane monster with 2 good augments on it. So. And when I see those information, so the Illuvio and augments, I start to try to see what kind of combination I can make, what looks amazing to make. Do I want to have more rogues, maybe with some AoE debuff to remove the armor around Illuvios, or do I want to play more into support with a lot of shield and heal, potentially, because I have augments that amplify it, this kind of stuff. And I try to do that in the first wave, while at the same time I'm trying to not lose in the first wave, and trying also to save as much mastery point as possible by making more interest case for people who don't know yet. Right now, the less mastery point we use, the more we get the next turn. So there's a strategy in early game to try to use as less as possible, and sometimes I win fights with just 10 HP on my ranger, but I win, so it's good. I can save more mastery points for the next turn.
Awesome. One final question for you. From the survival mode standpoint, do you feel like it's a complete game now, or do you think there's still improvements to be made?
So I have to remove my perspective of PvP and overworld and everything, right? Just survival mode as it is. Okay. So I think right now we still need to. There's still some bugs there and there that needs to be fixed. But it's normal. It's private beta, so we're here to try and all of that. I think we need to. For me to feel it completed, in my opinion, is when we'll be able to play survival mode with our own deck. The deck we have crafted, we have built, and even if we captured or not before, it doesn't matter. As long as we can create our own deck, I feel like this is going to be a complete game, because this is something like I'm really, really looking forward to, and every time I see some decks, I'm like, if only I could put this illusion, I would have an insane deck. It would be so much more fun, but that's how it is right now, and in the future, of course, it will be the way I described. We will be able to build our own deck and try it and test it on survival mode.
Yeah, and that way you can prepare with synergies and everything. Have more of a game plan going in instead of figuring out something new each and every day.
Yeah, and I think we're a little spoiled right now with having the full deck every time. Like in reality, we're not going to have that. We're going to have our own alluvials, and it's going to be tough to catch some of those stronger ones. So like we are all very spoiled right now.
Going to add on something.
Yeah, go ahead.
You wanted to move on.
Oh no, go for it.
Okay, I'm just going to add something here. I totally agree with. So how should I call you, Rafi?
Yeah, you can call me Rampy. Yeah.
Okay. So I agree with you, Rafi. I think when we start to get our own illusions, so when they are becoming real NFTs, because right now they're not NFTs, of course, the one we're playing with, it's going to be tough to go from, I don't know, Rimefire, Dualef, Scoriox team into just a team of 5 Atlas and Tatsupi.
Right, yeah.
It's going to be tough, but I think it's going to be fun on its own way, right? Because we can say, like, this is our team and my team, not someone else. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and Frobei, I have been watching some of your longer form videos on YouTube, some of the documentary style stuff. Keep up the good work with that. It's looking really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, definitely. I'll try to get a link to your YouTube, and I'll put it in the description down below here. But thank you for taking this call and giving us your thoughts on Private Beta 2, and maybe we'll have you back on the Illuvium rundown sometime soon.